Hi everyone, my name is Varsha and welcome to Study with Varsha. So today we are going to discuss 21 question and that question one of my friend get in the interview of one of the MNC company in the technical round. So this is the real real question which one of my friend get, and he had experience of 4.5 in AWS DevOps Engineer. So without any further delay, let's start and we will discuss the question what he get in the interview. So the first question interviewer had been asked with him that what is the maximum storage capacity of an Amazon S3 bucket. First he will, like any interview, they will ask to give you intro. Once he will give the intro and he had mentioned that he had experience in AWS, then interviewer asked, okay, you told that you have worked on S3 also, so tell me what is the maximum storage capacity of an Amazon S3 bucket. So see, I don't know exactly what he had given the answer, but if interviewer will ask with me, I can say okay, Amazon S3 provides unlimited storage capacity per bucket. But you can store unlimited project in a bucket. But each object can be used up to 5 TB in size. Or for larger files than 5 GB, we use multi-part uploads. So by default, you can create up to 100 bucket per AWS account and can be increased via support tickets as well. So you can say unlimited storage is there per bucket, but each object can be used up to 5 TB. That you have to remember. Okay, the next question he had asked, what is the default port number of Prometheus and Grafana? Because he had told that he had used Prometheus and Grafana for monitoring system. That's why he directly asked, okay, tell me the port number. So we have to tell, like for Prometheus 9090 is there and for Grafana 3000 port number is there. Now the next question is, how can we create a dashboard in Grafana? So this question is like little bit real world, because everyone have a different way to set up your Grafana dashboard. For example, if you are using data source as a Prometheus, so it will be different. For example, if you are using data source as a CloudWatch, so it will vary. So first thing that is common, first you have to log into the Grafana server, and that port number like HTTP and that server IP and that port number is 3000. After that you have to go to the setting, then data sources. From data source, if you are using Prometheus as a data source, you have to add Prometheus as a data source. If you are using CloudWatch as a data source, you have to choose CloudWatch as a data source and then click create dashboard. After that you can add multiple panels and we can write prom.ql query language for node, CPU and second total, and choose virtualization like visualization. You can choose like graph, stable as per your requirement, and save dashboard. So in production we import dashboard templates, okay, like use variable namespace pod, and we can configure alert, even though you can create your own dashboard template as well. Now the next question is, how did you integrate Jira monitoring with Grafana? Because he have told that okay, for alert management, they in their company they are using Jira. Now the question they will ask, okay, then how you integrate Jira with the monitoring with the Grafana? So the answer will be, approach used in the Jira project used Jira REST API and create custom exporter. But one thing you people have to worry, when you will say that use Jira REST API, they may ask interviewer, they may ask like how you have write. So you have to say like, no, that thing like REST API thing, Jira team will take care, or developers used to take care. You should not have to go in depth, otherwise there will be on a confusion if the interviewer will be very much proficient or he is a developer. So that's why we should have to say that the Jira team will take care. So we used to do with the REST API. Now created custom exporters with the help of Python you can do, and then you can expose metrics in the Prometheus format. So Prometheus scrapped exporter endpoint itself, and Grafana visualize metrics, so that monitoring of what you have monitored at API response time, error rate, ticket creation count, and CPU and memory if self-hosted it is there. Now which CI/CD pipeline have you worked on? So see, if you are using a GitHub, Jenkins, Docker, ECR, EKS pipeline, so like what I have used. But if you have used, Bitbucket pipeline, so you have to answer in that way. So I have used, like for source code, GitHub I have used, Jenkins I used to write the pipeline, Docker for containerization, ECR I used orchestration, and we can say that we used to deploy our project or EKS pipeline. So developer pushes code, webhook trigger Jenkins, and then Jenkins, Maven we are using for build, SonarQube for scan, Docker build and push to the ECR, and Helm deploy to EKS, and we used to do monitoring via Prometheus and Grafana. Now the next question is, what are the different types of pipeline in Jenkins? So there are multiple, like declarative pipelines, scripted pipelines, multi-branch pipelines. Then they will ask when you will use, declarative pipelines, when you will use scripted pipelines, when you will use multi-branch pipelines. So that will depend on the interviewer. So in the next question he have asked, where do you use, see this question came, where do you use declarative pipeline and where do you use scripted pipeline? So you have to say declarative pipeline we used when the code will be structured syntax, and if we have to easily we can maintain, and that is standard CI/CD pipeline, and it is team friendly. But scripted pipeline, whenever there is a complex logic will be there, conditional flows will be there, and loops and dynamic stages will be there. So at that scenario we use scripted pipeline. Now the next question is, what are the different types of jobs in Jenkins? Okay, so this question, like everyone knows, but when the interviewer will ask, we have a confusion that what he want to what you expect for the answer. But you don't have to think that much. If you are following my Jenkins series, I already covered in one day, I have explained what is like all the different types of jobs in Jenkins. So that is freestyle project, pipeline, multi-branch pipeline, folder, matrix project, and Maven projects. So if you didn't watch my Jenkins series, go and watch. You will have a clear understanding about the job type. Now, what is the default port of Jenkins? So that is 8080. Now, the next question he have asked, what are agents in Jenkins? So that is a twist. Many times what we will think, like agent is nothing but, plugin. But no, it's not correct. Agent in our worker node that execute build jobs. Okay, worker node in the sense, like, and it is a different types, like static agent, like any virtual machine you can say, or EC2 you can say. Dynamic agent means Kubernetes plugin or Docker agent. And why we are using agent? Because only with the help of agent we can do parallel builds, load distribution, and OS specific builds we can do. That's why we are using agents in Jenkins. So that also I have discussed in my Jenkins series. So please, I'll request you, if you didn't watch, go and watch my Jenkins series. That will be very beneficial for you all. Now, the next question he had asked, okay, then tell me what are the different types of services in Kubernetes. So you have to say like cluster IP, node port, load balancer, and external IP. So when you will say this type, and you will say, okay, cluster IP for internal purpose we use, node port we can use, but there is a restriction of port like 30,000 to 32,677. Load balancer we use to export outside world, and external IP. Then when you will explain one line this thing, then the interviewer had been asked with him, why is there a port restriction in node port? Why it is between 30,000 to 32,767? So you have to know the reason, because even before this question I also didn't think like that, why there is a restriction. But when this question came, I also think, okay, because the reason may be that avoid conflict with the system port, because sometimes the system port is between them. That's why to avoid that system port conflict, and we can like reserved Kubernetes range and security separation we use, there is a restriction, but you have to know the restriction why it is there. Now, what are the different types of load balancer is there? See, load balancer we all know, that is application load balancer, that is of used work on 7 layer, network load balancer that will work on 4 layer. Now classic load balancer, internal load balancer, external load balancer, even elastic load balancer. So different types of load balancer. So whenever you will tell the name, you have to explain also, okay, why we are using application load balancer, that is in 7 layers. So what it means by 4 layer, http and that 7 layer, that what is network load balancer, 4 layer, so TCP, UDP, you have to explain like much. It's not like one word answer you have to give. I think you understood what I am trying to explain you. Now the question is, next he asked, like, if you have worked on Kubernetes, so how do you resolve crash loop backup error? So whenever anyone will ask how you resolve some error, first you have to explain what is that error in one word. I'm not saying that explain because he understood, but you also have to say it one word. So what happened, it will increase your timing also, and he will have, and if you are not explaining how to resolve, at least that interviewer will understand, okay, he have idea about the error, but maybe because of something or maybe he is not able to tell, so maybe a chance, like the chances of getting selected will be increased. So you can say like crash loop backup error, how can we resolve? So there is steps. First steps, we will check the logs, and there is a command for that, kubectl logs, that pod id, pod name. Then we will check kubectl logs describe pod. After that, then pod name, describe kubectl describe pod name. And then we can check image issue is there, wrong command is there, missing environment variable will be there, DB connection will failure, liveness props failure, resources limit executes, and fix and redeploy, like that you can say. But you have to also explain what is crash loop backup error. Now the next question is, why does a crash loop backup error came? See, why this question interviewer had been asked, because maybe this person, my friend, he didn't explain what is crash loop backup error. But if when he asked how you resolve crash loop backup error, if he had explained what is crash loop backup error, and then he had explained that how we resolve, the next question didn't came. But even when he didn't explain, he asked next question, like, why does a crash loop backup error, or what is crash loop backup error, you understand. So the common reason will be application crash and startup command error, resource limit will exceed, or failure of the props, config map or secret will be missing, or maybe there sometime port conflict will be there. So Kubernetes keep restarting container, like, because Kubernetes, you all know that is a self-healing. Okay, so once the pod will crash, it automatically on, and then again it will create, again it will die, again it will create. So that is nothing but crash loop backup error. Now what is the AWS CLI command to create an S3 bucket? This is very simple question. Like, whenever if you want to create S3 bucket with CLI, what is the command? The command is AWS S3 API create hyphen bucket, and you can give any bucket name like Varsha, then hyphen reason, then you have to give the reason like AP South 1 or US East 1, then hyphen create bucket hyphen configuration location contents, and then again you have to give the reason. See, if you didn't remember, you just say, sorry, I used to create with the help of by writing the Terraform only, so I didn't remember the file, like that you can say. To if you'll directly say I don't know the command, it will be a chance that they will reject, okay, see, don't know. But if you will say no, we because in real time we generally didn't create anything with the help of command. We used to create with the help of by writing the Terraform configuration file, main file, whatever you can say, with the help of that. So you can simply say no, we used to do like that. So it will be like your chance will get increased in the interview to get selected, if even though if you don't know the answer. But if you directly say I don't know, you are rejected. So sometimes, friends, what we have to do, if you don't know the answer also, you have to see like that, you have to manipulate the interviewer itself, that oh, no, I didn't use like command to create, I used to do with the help of Terraform. Now they will ask, okay, then let me know how can you do the Terraform. Then you can say, okay, we use official document and you used to do the here only he will stop, and he can't cross question, because every company we use official document to create anything. Okay, leave it. Now next question, what are the different serverless services in AWS? Different serverless means what? first you have to understand serverless means which does not have a DB their own. So how many types of services in AWS? Like AWS Lambda is there, API Gateway is there, DynamoDB is there, S3 is there, Event Bridge is there, Step Function is there, Fargate is there, even ECS is there. So you can say like that. Can you explain why ECS is better than managing Docker manually? So this question is very interesting. Why? Because ECS advantage is it provide auto scaling, load balancer integration is there with ECS, IAM role per task is there, that we can say IAM list privilege is there, health checks is there, auto healing is there, service discovery is there, and no server management is there if we are using Fargate. So there is a nothing like if operation team is not required when you are using ECS. So it is very best for the startups or mid-level company. While in the other hand, if you are going to use Docker, you have manual scaling, manual monitoring, no auto healing. So ECS reduce operational overhead. That is the correct answer. Now the next question is, what is Fargate profile? He had asked, because when he told like no server management means Fargate is there, then he will ask, okay, let me know what is Fargate. Then he had told, when we are using EKS, it defines which namespace, which pods should run on AWS Fargate instead of EC2. So no node management is required, that is only Fargate profile. Now, why do we use Terraform import command? That question he had asked from the Terraform. So he told like resource already exists in AWS, not created by Terraform, and we want Terraform to manage it. The command is Terraform import AWS EC2, or you can give some real world example. But see the question they are asking. In interviewer, he asked 20 questions and he had covered all the topic. Jenkins, Git, Docker, Kubernetes, Terraform, AWS, all the question he have asked. Now, that is the last question. He asked, can you write a Terraform script to create an internet gateway? So, see, we have to write, like first we have to, in terraform.tf file, first we have to explain what is provider. So, provider in our case, we are using AWS. We have to write provider AWS, reason, then VPC. VPC use AWS VPC mean, CIDR block we can give. Then tags we can give, then we can give internet gateway and route table. See, if you are able to write, that is fine. If you are not able to write, you just say that sorry, we follow official document to write all these things. So right now I don't know all the steps, we followed official document, and as per our requirement we change the what we can say capacity and all. We didn't write all the thing from the scratch. So that is also a good answer, because in real time we really follow official document itself. Now the next like you can explain like this. So this is all about interview question which my friend get in one of the MNC company in the technical round. So if you will follow, you will get like this kind of content. Thank you for watching Study with Varsha. Have a great day, guys.